Hey people of YouTube, I made a video the other day with the statement that you don't need pedals. Now I'm gonna tell you that you may need this pedal. Have I changed my mind or am I just contradicting myself? The truth is, I love old tube amps and I love to play them loud. But if I want to share content with you on YouTube, I have to find a way to record without annoying my neighbors. And so I bought this pedal about 1 year ago. It's the Universal Audio Dream 65 and it's basically a simulation of a 1965 Fender Deluxe Reverb. And this pedal really works fine with me. I thought it might be a good idea to share my experiences in a video. So enough talking, let's see how it sounds. So this is the panel and you see it doesn't look like the control panel of an old BF. It's a little bit different and works a little bit different, and to me it was in the beginning a little bit counterintuitive, so I really had to get used to this panel and it took me a while to understand how it works. So let's go through the controls step by step. Let's start with the output. With the output you adjust the input of your audio interface, and I put it on 12 o'clock and I don't ever touch it, and this is my recommendation, don't ever touch it. Let's continue with the EQ section. So we have a bass control and we have a treble control, and when we also put them on 12 o'clock it sounds like this. To me this is very nice. To be honest, I never touch the bass control. Sometimes I turn down the treble control a little bit. It affects the upper mids. So this is the treble control at 12 o'clock. And this is it. Turn to the left. And it loses a bit of the upper mids, and so most of the time I leave it at 12 o'clock, and when I want to have a little bit of a darker sound, I turn back the tone control of the guitar. To me, maybe the most important thing of this pedal is this beautiful reverb. You really can hear the spring work. It's great. Maybe the best setting is here at 11 o'clock. To me it's worth buying the pedal because of the reverb. So there's another interesting thing, the vibrato. You can start the vibrato with this toggle switch, and now the treble and the boost control are the controls of the vibrato channel. And if you want to turn it off, you have to put the controls to the left and then put the toggle switch to the middle, and then you can turn the controls back to the origin position, which is to me very counterintuitive, and this might be the reason why I don't use the vibrato too often. Let's continue with the volume, and the volume is not the master volume of the pedal. So what does it do? It adds the overdrive or in other words, you crank up the amp with this. And when you turn it to 9 o'clock, it's really nice. And this is what I really love about this pedal, and now we're talking, this is absolutely great. When you play very soft, it's almost clean. And if you play a little bit harder, this really works great. So what happens if we turn this control to the right? When you play deep notes like this, and do some vibrato, it really sounds fuzzy. And I think they programmed that by purpose. It's because the old amp does that. My old Fender amp does a very similar thing. And everything the old amps are great in, the pedal is great in, and everything the old amps fail, this pedal fails. So it's very similar to the old amps, not in the way the controls work, but in the way it sounds. We have 6 speaker cabinets on board. Let's start with this. This is supposed to be a Celestion greenback. And this is supposed to be the original Oxford speaker. I would prefer that. And this is an electro voice. And these are maybe the most used speakers with this old amp. As we know, it's basically a 1965 Fender Deluxe Reverb. And these are some custom settings. I think this is a 4x10 speaker, and most of the time I use this. To me, it's not important which cabinet they try to emulate. To me, it's important how it sounds, and this sounds best to me. Let's talk about the boost. This is it. I don't know what this is supposed to be. I don't think that it's supposed to be a pedal in front of the amp. I think it's a mod, one of the mods that you can do with an old amp to kick its ass a little bit. And we also have 2 mods. You can choose these 2 mods with this toggle switch. This is so-called Steve Ray Vaughan mod, and this is the Bob Bradshaw Steve Lukather mod. It only works when the boost is on, and of course when you increase the volume a little bit. It doesn't sound to me like what I would expect of a Steve Ray Vaughan mod, but maybe this is just the wrong guitar for that. And this is Bob Bradshaw Steve Lukather. Has a little bit less gain. To be honest, I don't use the mods very often. I just have the amp like this or the pedal like this, and most of the time I play it clean and sometimes with a little bit of overdrive, and I really love this little bit in between sound. So when you play soft and it's clean, and you play a little bit harder and it starts to saturate a little bit. What are my final thoughts? Well, first of all, it's amazingly close to the original. And another benefit is that it only simulates this one particular amplifier, so you don't get distracted by changing amp simulations or whatever, and you really stay focused on what it's all about, playing the guitar. Maybe one downside might be that the handling is a little bit complicated, at least for me, but that's not that big of a deal because you really get used to it very fast. So this is it for today. Thanks for watching the video. See you next time.